Namaste. You're probably wondering where I've been for a bit. Yeah, I actually only realised the other day the last video I did was like January, whenever it was. Like, I'm sure there'll be some B-roll rolling here where you'll see the date, the exact date where I uploaded the last video I did, and it's like, it's been a bit of a while, hasn't it? Might have been the longest sort of hiatus, just a gap between me realising I've not done anything and doing something else that I've had in a very long time. Anyway, I noticed that and thought, what with a particular little topic that's rumbling around my subscription box at the moment of where you are with your collection and everything in YouTube and whatever at the moment, I thought, you know what, now's the time to put on the camera, just give a little bit of an update on where I am and where things look like they'll be going. So number one, Twit is dead. RIP, you know, salute the longest running thing that I've done on my channel that's, you know, it's my unique selling point, or it was about 5 years ago. Now, a good lot of you, I would hope, a nice amount of my regular longest time viewers that I now regard as proper friends and whatever, you'll probably be sat there thinking, oh no, why is he stopping that? What's going on? This is what I came here for every Sunday in 2012. But yes, I just feel like this week in Transformers, it's been very redundant sort of title for a long time now. Yeah, it's been like a good half a decade since I actually did it on a weekly basis regularly. But the trouble is, I've not thought about it like that. I've not really realised that. I've not really woken up to the fact that I've had an awful lot of subscribers since I would have been doing that. And it's like, to all of them that won't have been there at the time in that golden halcyon age of YouTube when I was starting out and making friends with all of you lot, they won't have seen me actually do it on a weekly basis because it's more like monthly and then it's more like quarterly and then it's like, no, it just doesn't happen anymore. I'm losing track of what I want to say. It's been too long since I've done this. I can't keep that kind of narrative train of thought going anymore. Yeah, it's long overdue to just be put out to pasture is the way I see it. I'm a bit sad to sort of say that, to go, oh, you know, that's my thing that netted in any of the people that watch me that actually matter. And so, yeah, now we're moving on, keeping the same format, essentially, just changing the title so that it doesn't evoke the thoughts of expecting a video every week on a regular basis. It's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be me talking to you about robots and stuff that I got in a kind of vlog medium, but we're going to call it Waspshot instead. Sometimes that's really hard for me to pronounce, but that's the name of my Facebook page, and it just feels like, you know, just get a better name for it. All of Twit will still be there. You'll be able to go back through the mists of time and see every single one of those I did, all however many seasons, 6, 7, I did of that, all the way back to the good old days of 2011. And that's a long time ago, man. So I think it's very much time for me to say, that's what I used to do. Here's what I'm going to be doing. Just more generalised talking. Because if we were still doing Twit, yeah, since January I've had a lot of stuff that I just haven't covered in video format at all, which seems like a great gaping void of content that could have been pretty damn good, actually. It's been some big stuff. And I've just completely failed to cover it at all. So, yes, from here on out, goodbye. Just a good night, sweet prince. This week in Transformers is done. We're closing the chapter on that. I'm putting it to bed. I'm nailing down the coffin. It's finished, over, done. And it is with a heavy heart that I do so announce, but I feel like going forward, this whole, you know, format that I'm doing right now will actually be a lot more free to work with, and at the end of the day, that's all I really want out of this. Because I just keep filming things and then having these ideas, and then they end up stretching out too long, and I end up leaving it, forgetting about it, and then not being bothered to actually go back and finish it. So I've now actually got a little stack of stuff that's like, one day I keep thinking I'll go back and do like lost episodes, and I can just put a really big timestamp through the whole of the video so you know this isn't new, this was actually filmed 2 years ago, and still put it out somehow, still get some use out of it. I'm aware there was some good ones, because I said some good stuff in some of these and I've just not done anything with them because it's been a matter of, oh, I sat speaking for half an hour, I can't be bothered to edit this, I'm just, yeah, I'll do it at some point, and then I never do, and I've left it, and it's like, well, it's been a while, let's just forget about that one. I did one for my birthday this year. And yeah, just nothing happened. So there you go. That's where I am with my channel at the moment. Struggling, let's put it that way. You know, things get in the way. You know, it's a rote excuse to say, oh, life came along and stopped me from doing it. But it's true, you know. I do have better things to do in some regards. But at the same time, I do still miss doing this regularly. I do still enjoy doing all of this, but it feels just that little bit like too much effort to actually maintain that output these days. I'm getting old, man. I watched popular YouTuber H Bomber Guy's video on the Transformers movie the other day, and in that he goes, I felt like I was 19 till I was 26, and then I felt like an old person. I'm like, yep, where's my big flashing hashtag big mood, because that's exactly how I feel right now. But I'm going to try and forge ahead with some of that good youthful spirit that you know me for, and try my best to start putting out videos for you again. But I just realised that the old mindscape in that regard is totally empty. Like, I've got no ideas for anything at all at the moment. So watch this space. But then, of course, in the old fashion there, I shouldn't say that, because like the past 3 or 4 videos I've done, I've said, oh, I have something new for you that I've got planned, and then it's not happened. So all in all, it's a bit of a rut, I think, I'm stuck in with the old YouTubes, and I'd like to get out of it, and I'd like to get on with doing some jolly good stuff for you again, but at the same time, I just really can't be bothered. When I watch this back to edit it, it might sound really negative, and I might have some second thoughts about actually putting this out there, but I've got to say, what I really want to get out of this particular ramble I'm going on right now is just telling you that I am unshackling myself of the burden of even thinking about doing regular videos, because it's just not been happening, has it? It just doesn't happen anymore. That's not how it be. You let go or you are dragged, and thus I am letting go of it, and hopefully in doing so, in freeing myself up, that'll mean that I just feel like doing spontaneous stuff on the camera once again, and that'd be a lot better, wouldn't it? So I'll draw this to a close now and say that I will endeavour to keep this boat afloat one way or another, and, you know, just sail along to that dreamlike point where I've got my own perfect little study type setup where there's some robots behind me at a good distance where I can be sat down filming in front of a desk and have all that good setup. One day we'll get there, and when I get there I'll be able to feel like I can just turn it all on and just speak and make all of this stuff in a much better way, because finding the right setup as well is another kind of obstacle. It just feels like, oh, I've got to, like right now, you won't be able to realise, but I'm stood in front of my bed and I've got a stack of plastic boxes that have got various figures and accessories in, up to a height of about my like sternum, and I'm resting my iPod on there to film for you. And let's face it, it's not the easiest thing to just whip up when you feel like making a video. But I wanted you to be able to see things behind me, to make a little bit of a visual sort of focal point other than my face and the bad lighting that it's reflecting. By the way, quick switch. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, remember like last year, about sort of November time, Home Bargains, all those Timeless Return box sets that turned up, and one never turned up in my one, even though I went there week upon week, right up until Christmas. Nothing. Barren. Totally devoid. But someone very nice on Twitter went and middleman me one, and that's something really nice. It's like, that's the sort of thing I should have been talking about. That's the sort of thing I could have done a little bit of video about, if not just him, but the whole set, because they're rather nice, because Nautica down here as well. You know, it's a good, nice bit of stuff. And that was the first new robots I got in 2019. But you wouldn't know that because I didn't bother to turn the camera on. So there we are. I've bared my soul for you for however many minutes this has taken. And I can just say to you that now you know where we stand. Now you know where I stand, or at least now you know where I stand, like in a totally literal sense. And I'll try to buck the curse of YouTube and not tell you to expect anything new, and not tell you that I've got anything coming out very soon. And I'll just do what I did last time and tell you, go buy some Bumblebee figures. Go enjoy some simple cheap tat you can pick up in Tesco's, because actually that's what I'm really enjoying at the moment. There's a video theme for something new. Don't say that too loudly though, because you know what will happen. Hasta luego, amigos!